What's going on, guys? Welcome back to United View. Welcome back to the full-time view where members can call in. They can have their say indeed. Manchester United have won the first game of the season, and it wasn't easy. You know, it wasn't easy to get there, was it? Wasn't easy to get there, but we got there indeed, and that's the most important thing, isn't it? That's the most important thing. Said it before the game. The most important thing was getting the 3 points on the board. I think also as well, you know, that there might be a lot of or some negativity trying to be spun about that game. Oh, you won with a late winner against Fulham. You're getting too gassed or anything like that. But I think if you take the game as a whole, and I've been saying this in throughout pre-season, I got crucified for it after the Liverpool game when we lost 3-0. And I said, I think there are positives to take from that game. And what are you talking about? You lost 3-0. What positives? And the positives were the same positives that were there when we played Man City, which is we are creating a lot of chances. We're creating chances. We just can't take them. The reality is that game could have and maybe should have been 3-0, possibly 4-0. With the chances that we created. Bruno Fernandes, last week, rather, it was, Marcus Rashford missing 2. He gets criticised for that. This time, it was Bruno Fernandes missing 2. Garnacho misses an open goal. But I think Man United did play well. Slow starts in both halves. But I think you're looking at really impressive performances from your likes of Casemiro, from Mazraoui. Really, really impressive performance from him on his debut. Harry Maguire, big credit to him as well. And I think that, when it's really easy to spot agenda, when it's blatant, because I remember like half time, you get it's 0-0 and you get people that come in and they go, get Maguire off this pitch now. And you go, I don't think you even watched the first half then, because you just don't like him because he actually played pretty well. So certainly positive to take. The negatives are the negatives from the last few games, which is got to be more clinical. And hopefully that will come with Zirkzee being up to speed, with Rasmus Højlund coming back into the team, maybe a bit more match sharpness and fitness from some of the players that missed a lot of preseason. But ultimately, again, it's just the result that matters. It's just the result that matters. It's just the 3 points that matter. And now, particularly in that game, Friday, season opener, curtain raiser, you have just got everyone watching that isn't a Man United fan watching and hoping United lose or fail. And they didn't do that. So we will take that. And now we will sit back and say, right, you were all waiting for us to fail. You better not do it yourself, because we'll be here. We've got our 3 points. That's what we've got. We've got our 3 points. So lovely stuff indeed. So yes, this is the full-time view where members can call in and have their say. If you do wish to become a member, you can do so. Links in the video description. It's also pinned in the chat. You can click the join button. You can do like Katorga HD has, and that become a member. It will come up on the screen right there. If you are a member and you do wish to call in and have your say, you can do so by going to the United View YouTube page. Go over to the community tab, and you will see there a link. It's only for members. Only members can see it. I think if you're also a member, you get like a notification in like your email or something like that as well. So there's plenty of ways to find that link indeed. Let's start off with positivity. Let's go to Chalaboy Comics. My friend, we started with a victory. It took us a while to get there, but we got there. What did you make of it all?
How you doing, Owen? How you doing, my friend?
Good.
Doing good. It's the perfect start, I think the only thing that would have made it sweeter is if at the end of the game we had put a little French kiss on it with with the last goal.
French kiss.
I'm not. That's how happy we are. That's how...
that took a turn pretty quick, didn't it?
This
My
is
goodness
United
me.
View after dark.
Yeah, luckily we're past watershed. Wow.
But no, if Rashford or Garnacho had put that away. But honestly, it was the perfect game, clean sheet. The 1-0 victories, if you ever play football, are almost the sweetest ones, because you knew you had to be at maximum concentration for the whole game to not let things slip. So that's what I loved about this game. And I think the story of the game is almost reflective or possibly predictive of what the story of the season is going to be, because first 5 minutes of the game, I couldn't believe what I was watching. I was like, wow, United have started pressing well. United are, getting our pressing, are really aggressive. Our shape is good. We're recovering really quickly. And then all of a sudden, Adama Traore gets the ball and he's blasting past us. And then you're like, oh, yeah, yep, back to reality. We're in the Premier League and there are other competitive teams that are going to face us and pose us challenges. But the point is, we didn't, panic. We kept with the process, which is why the way Fulham defended us allowed Casemiro to keep time and time get in balls in these advantageous positions. And if only his execution was slightly better, it's 1 or 2 nil pretty early in the game. First 20 minutes, we keep going very aggressive, but we don't score. And that's when the second phase of things are going. When things aren't going your way, you're going to have to rely on composure and experience to keep and patience to keep at it. So yeah, the game sort of like teetered a little bit where there wasn't too much action happening for a little bit in the middle, but we were still dominant in the ball, still trying to do the right things, which is emblematic of what we'll need to do in the season to come. And then finally, the fact that we brought on Delit, we brought on Zirkzee, we brought on all these players that came on is representative of the fact that this season is going to be a squad game, a squad season. Like we're going to have to use every single bit of individual situations, every individual player, to get where we're trying to go. And in the midst of things, there are going to be some mistakes made, but we're going to have a last ditch effort to try and get over the line. It was a very connected performance, albeit for the fact that we had new players in the squad. So that was very good. And at the end of the day, you're going to get your just rewards if you stick to the plan, which is why we got that late winner. So hopefully the lads use this as a sort of springboard for the season. That's what it's going to take every single game, every single minute. But overall, very, very happy.
Talk to me about Casemiro, because Casemiro rolled back the years. After the Community Shield, we said that his passing was actually really impressive. He continued that today. Why do you think that is? Do you think that's a case of having someone like a Mason Mount near him helps him with the running? Do you think it's just a case of last season was just a bad season, different environment, fresh start for him? Because some of his passes today, particularly that one for the Bruno second chance, was brilliant pass. Yeah. Where do you think that comes from of him? Is it just Casemiro being back to his best?
So yes, I hope so. I hope he's fully fit, because last season it's pretty much that he was carrying an injury throughout the whole season. His hamstring was bothering him. But the main thing about Casemiro is that in his first season, he was making these passes. He was, being very progressive. And so he has that in the locker. The only problem is I feel like mentally he just wasn't performing to his best. He was dipping in form, but I don't think this ever left him. That being said, I do want to mention that his passing in the final third wasn't that great. It was when he was slightly deeper and he was hitting it into space was where he had his most of his successful passes, and he'll need to improve his sort of final third pass if we're going to get to the next level, because he was wasteful a little bit. But I think it's a fully fit situation. And you also mentioned Mason Mount. I think his role and how he sort of closed those spaces very early probably put less toll on Casemiro, so allowed him to stay less fatigued, which means your passing success rate will sort of stay quite high as the game went on. But I think it was just he's hopefully back to his best, and I think he still has quality. It's just he can't be the only one doing that for a whole season. So if Ugarte is to come in, he needs to have the tenacity and the interceptions of Casemiro, but also if you do arrive in those positions, do you have the quality of pass to play forward? So I just think it's a matter of just having competition around the squad to bring out the best in everyone. And I think also Mazraoui's inclusion in that game also gave Casemiro a platform to play off. They were linking well. Everyone got their press in and distances right. It just looked very good. And Mazraoui impressed me with his reading of the play as well, because in situations where we'd lose the ball or where leading a press, say with Bruno goes in, Mazraoui was stepping in at the right moment. So I think it's just having a cohesive team around Casemiro that's bringing out a good level to him.
Yes. And finally, Zirkzee gets the goal. Hopefully the first of many. It wasn't on for a huge amount of time, but were you impressed?
Yeah, no, I liked his play, his positioning. I think my observations were the first 2 minutes of the game, it seemed like it was faster than he thought. He came in a little bit like the game was passing him by, and he's like, wait, where am I meant to be? But I think he acclimatized really quickly. And he brings a sort of Martial role back into the team, because we sort of lost that when Martial left in, where you had into that forward focal point dropping deep and linking everyone in. So I hope he stays fit and continues to do this. I think we're gonna need different profiles at different times based on the opposition, and I think this game was really good for him to sort of break a stubborn Fulham, is to just get those runners across Fulham, get them tired and create the space, which is ultimately where the goal came from. So I'm just very much happy with this performance. I love that it took grit for us to get this, and we have 3 points out of 3 so far. Perfect start. What more can we ask for?
Perfection. That's what we strive for. Perfection. Big up Chalaboy Comics as always. I tell you what, I'm choking to death. You go. I'm not emotional because we won the game. I got tears in my eyes because I can't breathe. I tell you what, that would be a good way to go for the first game of the season. Owens that rest of the season. What? Choked to death. What on? Air. He choked to death on air. Just decided to stop breathing. Just during the show. It's not a bad way. Red Baron says, have you seen Zirkzee's interview? He's chill. He's always like that. He did that interview with United, didn't he? When he signed for the club, and he's a very relaxed guy. He's a big dude as well, big guy, and a really good finish, improvised finish. Little stick your toe out, put it past the goalkeeper, and it needed something, didn't it? Needed something because look, it was Leno was making quite a few saves, so big up to him indeed. Let's go to another call. Let's go to Marcus. Marcus, what were your thoughts on what you saw this evening?
Oh, it's a tough. I'm not feeling the optimism. I'm sorry, I'm not. I was optimistic coming into this game. I thought that Ten Hag would at least change. Fundamentally, I thought he was going to change his tactics, because from what we saw in a City game, 4-2-4, we played far better in a City game than we did tonight, which is unexpected. But I don't know. I just think it's just NBA football again. NBA football, and the moment we play against a team that is any decent, Fulham are very, they got a lot of championship players in there. Like Iwobi isn't that great. Adama Traore isn't that good either. And I think the moment we play against a team that's got quality, we'll struggle.
Do you think that's because, again, with giving it away high up the pitch? I mean, you say about playing better against City, we still create a similar amount of chances. Is that not an encouraging part of it?
No, because the issue with the Ten Hag system is that we create a lot of chances, we don't score enough, but we concede a lot of chances. Like, if Fulham were any good, Harry Maguire was amazing with that 2v1, but the amount of times we were like, Mason Mount and Bruno Fernandes had to run about 4,000 miles just to cover the space. It's just not sustainable. I don't like the approach at all. Every time Man City play, every time Arsenal play, you feel like they're choking the opposition out. But after half time, Fulham, you could tell Marcus Silva told them, we could beat these guys. These guys are not that good. And, and as Fulham went more aggressive, there was more space for us to operate, which was good for us in long run. But it meant the game was more open. And that means there's, God, after like 60 minutes, did you see how much space there was in the game? They could have scored very easily if they had some quality.
I mean, they could, but by that point, should United not have been 3 or 4-0 up by that point? I mean, if you look at possession, we had more possession. We had more shots. We had more shots on target than them. They had 10 shots, 2 on target. I think the best save Onana has to make is in the first half. Perhaps I get your point about the breakaway, but I think that breakaway can happen to any top team when you have a free kick and you give the ball away and immediately they run up the other end of the pitch and you have to get your defender to bail you out. Could that not happen just to any team if they're going to be poor on the ball?
Well, it can, but with a Ten Hag team, it happens all the time. Every single game, even last season, this game, it was just, we were all over the place, and I don't know. Like, I feel like at this point in the project, we should be able to control the game so much better than we did, and it's just disappointing that if you look at the stats only, we seem like the better team, but I feel like Fulham were not utilizing the chances they had.
I would
and the
say we were
space
the
that they
better
had.
team, though. I'd say even if I didn't look at the stats there, I would say United were the better team today. And United deserved to win.
Maybe in a weird way, we probably were, but we
I
gave.
don't know if what weird way when we had was it two, 3 1-on-1s and we should have scored,
Yeah, but Fulham should have scored loads if they were any good. That's the.
but they weren't when we were the better team.
Yeah, but we allowed Fulham to look far better than they actually are. If Arsenal were playing Fulham, if Man City were playing Fulham, if Newcastle were playing Fulham, they would have scored loads and they wouldn't have given Fulham anything. But we gave Fulham far too much.
But can we? I mean, and also those chances. I mean, apart outside of the that one where they should have, Andrea should have passed it. What was their big chance?
Well, their big chance creation wasn't good because they haven't got that many good players. But in terms of the amount of potential medium chances we could have gave them, it was loads. The amount of times we got countered, the amount of times we were sprinting back because we were out position because of the really aggressive press. People were like this last season. People said, "Oh, we didn't play." When we beat Wolves last season, people said the same thing. Oh, we can improve and so, but we didn't. And it's going to be like this.
But that was last season, wasn't it? That was last season. Also, it's the first game of this season. Preseason has been interrupted because of Copa America and the Euros. And is it not the important thing just to get the results on the board at this stage? I mean, there will be a big thing that slips up this weekend. Of course, it's important to get results on the board. But we don't want to lose.
No, but at the start of the season, you want to play well because if you don't play well
all the time, you want to build into the season. When does City play their best?
All the time.
Yeah, they play better in the second half of the season. They're consistently known as being objectively better in the second half.
Oh yeah, they win every game. Yeah, they win every game, but they still play a solid, a good 7 out of 10, 8 or 10 throughout the entire season. You cannot start poorly and then be suddenly good. We started poorly and we ended poorly last season.
I would disagree. I would disagree with that massively. I've seen many a Manchester United side, title-winning sides, lose their first game of the season. I can tell you one. Everton. It was Sir Alex's last season. We lost that first game. Went on to win it. The first season of the Premier League, we lost that one. Went on to win it. Multiple teams. Aston Villa last season, they got pumped. Was it 4 or 5-1? They finished in the top 4. Teams can go into seasons. Absolutely. Look at Chelsea. They were rubbish all last season. And they finished strong, got it sick, and they should have been in the Europa League. We knocked them out.
They didn't exactly finish strong. Everyone just limped to the end of the season. They would just...
they won. Would they win like 5 matches in a row towards the end
of
the season?
But they weren't that great.
It's finishing pretty strong, isn't it?
Yeah, well, technically, yeah. But but the way Ten Hag plays, like, we can't sustain this. Look how much we ran this game. We're going to get injuries again. It's not going to go as well as people think. I hoped it would go well, but unfortunately not.
We'll see.
I don't see, unfortunately.
We'll see. Big up, Marcus. Appreciate you calling up. It's all about opinions. I disagree massively. But because we won. And yeah. But hey, it's all about opinion. That's what it's all about. Super chats here. We've got quite a few. Omar's not happy. He says, shut up. None of that. Danny DeFito says, a slightly better team with a decent number 9 Packers tonight. It's not as bad as Wolves last season, but come on. Stop this hype nonsense. Owen, your cope is real. Why are we so angry we won? I don't know. Why do we do this? I don't know why we do this. Why are we so angry that we won a game? Now, by the way, we deserve to win. We deserve to win that game. We should have won it 3 or 4-0. And now we do this whole we do. If we were playing another team, but we weren't. We weren't playing another team. And also, why are we judging ourselves on other teams that haven't played yet as well? We have no idea how those teams are going to play. The best thing is that we won today. We deserve to win today. We should have made it way easier for ourselves. But the most important thing is that we win. And the idea that you can't grow into the season is nonsense. We've seen plenty of teams do it. Look at Spurs last season. Fuck me, they won the league in November, didn't they? Remember that? Ange, best start ever. And they tapered off. Well, they weren't in top 4 towards the end of the season, were they at all? Because guess what? You don't want to peak too early. My goodness me. I remember a time where Aston Villa, weren't they top at Christmas? And I think they barely got in the top 4. That was in the 90s as well. Because guess what? You don't want to peak too early. And also, I won't even say that, United crawled over the line. Watch the game against Wolves last season. We crawled over the line that time round. But this time round, absolutely not. Red Baron says Fulham beat Arsenal 2023-24 2-1. Again, I think that, you know, we've got a. I think if the reaction of that coming out tonight is we could have lost, then I'd be like, I don't know. I don't know what is going to satisfy us really at that point. You know, because I tell you now, yeah, even if we won 4 or 5-0, it would be, yeah, but it's not really sustainable, is it? That's what it'd be. A bit lucky. Got lucky. Red Scare Claire says 3 points with a team only getting to know each other. I'm happy. Here's positivity for you all. Big up. Appreciate the contribution. Let's go to Amador. Amador, what are your thoughts on the game?
Hi, Owen. Positivity. I'm not. I am positive. I was quite surprised by how in the first 20 minutes I was a little bit worried. I have to be honest with you because I'm not gonna lie. I was getting flashbacks last season and thinking, hold on, we feel like we're the team that's not being coached at all, and it looks like Fulham were better. We're a better coached team than us in the first 20 minutes, but we then seemed to grow into the game. So for me, it was about the performance and the result. And I said to you last time, I can see patterns now. I can see the style of play. We can say goodbye to 3-1-6. I think the 3-1-6 is gone. It is now the 4-2-4 or the 3-2-5. I don't know. But there is no one in the middle, and I don't know if you noticed that as well, Owen. But I don't feel. Yes, there was a bit of a counter-attacking football where we lost the ball and they attacked us, and they lost the ball and we attacked us, but there wasn't like a donut in the middle. Sorry, that's such a poor expression to use, but you know what I mean. In the middle, I don't
Yes.
see that at all. So, did you see that, Owen? Did you see any of that 3-1-6 remnants
No,
in the game today?
I didn't see. I mean, I get the point that Marcus was making previously about counterattacks, but I think that any team can be counterattacked on. By the way, that's how you beat Man City. You counterattack on them. Even the best teams in the world can get counterattacked on, particularly if you lose the ball high up the pitch, you know, and you don't do a foul, win the ball back immediately.
Yeah.
That's how you beat those teams. I did think, like I said, I thought the gaps were smaller in midfield, certainly, and yeah, I don't think this. You know, I don't know about you, but I was never expecting perfection anyway. To be honest,
No,
you know,
no. It's the first, like I said, it's the first game of the season. Players are still getting to know each other. Mazraoui, he had a solid 10 out of 10 debut performance. I thought. I want to give a big shout out to like you've done it already, Maguire. I thought he played really well. But also, one of my biggest critics, I've criticized this guy, two guys actually, Casemiro and Rashford. I thought they both played really well. Rashford, there was a bit of intensity in this game. Last season he didn't see that intensity. This season he seems to be caring about winning the ball, driving at players, passing the ball. So big shout out to Rashford and Casemiro. Casemiro played very well. He wasn't reckless. He wasn't diving as much.
yeah.
So I want to give a big shout out to them. And there are some few, members of the community. I won't name names. Who seem to be negative, saying there's no difference to this to last season. But I'm sure last season, Owen, when we won Wolves 1-0, I don't know what the rhetoric was after the game, but I think it was along the lines that we didn't deserve to win that game. It was a lucky win.
Yeah.
This game was not a lucky win. I think this was
No.
like it's a team that was building, it's a team that was progressing, and we deserved the win. Yes, it wasn't a scintillating performance, but when do you get a scintillating opening performance where you dominate possession and score 4 goals? I hardly ever see that.
Historically,
So,
from United, it just
you know,
across our Premier League history, very rarely, very rarely.
no. So I think that's the positive for me in terms of I can now see the coaching having an impact on this team, and they are following instruction. There isn't, for example, when we don't have the ball, Bruno would go and press on his own, and then nobody follows. Did you see? There's like they knew when to press and when they didn't need to press. So it feels to me that the coaching is slowly seeping through. They're being better coached. So I'm not going to get I'm not being toxically positive and saying we're going to do very, very well.
Hmm.
But I am looking forward. I feel these are the teams. If we can play like that against Bournemouth at home, West Ham at home, the teams where we should be beating them, and we do that sort of performance, I'll be relatively happy. I think the challenge for that is, can we do that against the mid-table teams where they will have a low block? Can we break them down? And I think the way they're being coached, I think they should be able to break those teams down. My only concern for me It's a bit of a random one. I'm still not convinced on Onana. Today, I don't know whether he picked him on this, but I know he made a decent save, but his distribution was he made one or two awkward distributions, and he just doesn't feel. He's the one player in my team where I feel uncomfortable.
What's funny
And
with him it's actually his short passing, sort of in and around tight space, is actually really good. But
Good.
his longer passing is a bit hit and miss. It can be a bit hit and
we
miss.
bought him for that. We Eric Ten Hag bought him for his passing range, what do you call it? So he's the only person that I feel I shouldn't do because it's his second season now, isn't it? So, but he's the one that makes me nervous. But every other members of that team, I can see there's a plan, and I can see they're following the plan, and they're executing that to a T. So respect to those players.
Yeah, indeed. Big up, Amanor. Let's keep it rolling here. Big up. Appreciate you calling as always. Super chat from Danny DeFito says, why is there negativity, Owen? This is a rinse and repeat of the football we've seen in the past few seasons. There is nothing changing. Wake up. Wake up, Owen. I disagree because when we played Fulham earlier on, well, last season, they came off that pitch and they absolutely deserve to beat us. That's not the case today. The first game, as Amanor pointed out, of last season, we played Wolves. And at the end of it, it was Wolves should have had a penalty and they probably should have won the game because they created a load of chances. Onana had to make big saves. I remember that game. And that's not what happened today. So that's, to me, isn't rinse and repeat. I'm not seeing it. I mentioned that in pre-season. That is not what I have seen. Now, obviously, look, proof will be in the pudding. But I don't know, just my initial reaction to games like that, where we won and we also should have won by more, isn't we're shit and we're going to lose all these games. Of course, we're going to lose games. And by the way, of course, this is newsflash. We ain't Man City and we ain't Arsenal. We're not. They're expected to win the league this season. Are any of you talking about us winning the league this season? No. And there's a reason for that. So why should we expect ourselves to be what we're not at the moment too? We're not that at the moment. What we can hope is to build up, to get better, as the players start to gel together too. That was Zirkzee's first time playing a match for Manchester United. How good could he be in 20 matches, 30 matches? Why are we expecting this like a light switch? Right, it's Fergie days are back. That's what it's going to be. Not going to happen. Like that is not going to happen. What we can do is go, we won today. Hopefully we'll get a bit better. Hopefully we'll take our chances. But guess what? We won. We won. It's like, what it is, biting into some chocolate and go, that was nice, but there's a bit missing now. Throw it away. Don't want it anymore. Enjoy it. Enjoy it where you can. Let's go to another call. Let's go to Kay. Let's go to Kay. What did you make of what you saw this evening?
Yeah, Owen, I'm not sure what people are watching though, because I saw a pattern of play. I saw how there was a compact in the middle. I always knew, well, for Mazraoui, I knew at least there were 2-3 options for him. So I'm very surprised people are saying, "Oh, nothing has changed." did they watch last week's season? I was sweating the whole game. This time around, I was just frustrated because we weren't taking our chances. Casemiro could have had like 2 or 3 assists. So I think if we end up being clinical, I can just see the pattern of play, and I'm very confident that we're going to improve. And this is probably the first time Eric Ten Hag had like 5 changes from the bench that still maintained the strength or even made the team. We didn't have that.
Yeah.
So
no, exactly.
you just keep playing them.
Exactly. No, I totally agree. What do you make of Joshua Zirkzee? Of course, didn't really touch the ball all that much, in fairness, but gets his goal. He's described himself as a bit of a false forward. You saw it for the goal, dropped deep, finishes it off. How good do you think he can do at United?
First off, I thought I was watching the YouTube compilation when he came on and the touches, and I'm like, this is all I saw on the YouTube piece. But I think he's going to be great. I think because being in the half spaces, popping in here, there, and keeping the ball so good, it will make defenders almost step back because they can't get too close, because if you get so close, he's going to move past you. So I think it opens up the space, and you saw how that no-look pass to Garnacho on the right when he was turning on the other side. I think that's going to be very great for us, and I think he can actually play even in the false 9 or something, or play maybe in the 10 and have Haaland ahead of him. So we have options, because I can see his link-up play is going to be great for us, and I'm actually excited for this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think again, I think there is room. Oh, he keeps cutting out. There you go. You're back. I think, yeah, I think there is room to be excited about this year. I mean, he didn't get. He looked like he was going to get his assist, Marcus Rashford. But what do you make of his performance too? Do you think he can hit the heights of a couple of years ago?
Yeah, I didn't see the same frustration on his face like the other seasons when if something doesn't work. I saw him go again, and go again. Also, he was tracking back when Dallo was gone, and it was just Adama Traore and I think what's his name,
Awobi.
number 6. Yeah. Oh, no, actually Martinez, right? Martinez on that side. He tracked back. He may have caused the fact, but that's what we want to see. It's the passion. That's all we are asking for. That show that you care. And I feel like, let's say if Garnacho, I think he had one pass that was no one in the middle, but the other one with Garnacho, that would have been an assist, and Garnacho would have had a goal and assist. So I think now I'm seeing more crossing than trying to take on one-on-one like he did last year when there are like 5 people in front of him. I saw him trying to look for options. So I think that this year, I don't know if he's going to hit 30, but at least I feel like at least 20, 25 GA.
Yeah, man, I like that. I hope that we get the case. I mean, you mentioned Mazraoui. Obviously, he was right next to Harry Maguire as well. Maguire and let's start to talk about Maguire, because for a guy that gets a lot of criticism, he showed up tonight and there was a big moment where it was 2-on-1, gets the block as well. Might have been injured coming off. What do you make of his performance?
I thought it was going to be a first goal. The moment I saw Maguire, I'm like, oh my gosh. But to be fair, I think it will be made a wrong move. But I think he did the best of what you're supposed to do as a defender: delay. Don't go in, delay, and force them to make a decision. And I'm actually very surprised that I'm not. Well, if I don't know, it was an injury or maybe you just wanted to give the late minutes. I think it was good. I think he was good all around. Except his penalty that he was searching for. I think he did a good. He was good with Mazraoui as well. A few ones I felt he kind of panicked a little bit where he kicked the ball out. I understand that. But he'd rather do that than have us concede. But I think whether it's him or Delit, I just feel that we have a good, strong options on the back line, and very excited. And Mazraoui, I thought I was going to miss a bit of Wan-Bissaka's one-on-one, but he probably tackled. I don't know. He goes forward and back and goes in and out, left, right. And I'm like, I mean, there was a pass they would have gone through. I think there was a deflection, but it would probably be the first goal. So I feel like, yeah, we're getting there. And this is the first time a lot of them are playing together. So maybe 5 games into this, where there's patterns where there's a no look because you know your counterpart is going to be ahead of you in this position, this pocket. That's going to be helpful for us. So I mean, I can't believe we're saying this about Maguire, but I think this is great redemption and good to start the first day.
Yeah, absolutely. And just like we spoke about Mazraoui before, but I think we should talk about him again, because you mentioned that obviously I think we were expecting him to be comfortable on the ball, which he was really comfortable, both feet, tight areas. But actually, to your point, there was a couple of really important slide tackles and blocks from him that maybe we hadn't really considered, that he is still a defender, actually. And he contributed.
I was like, that's a Moroccan Spider-Man. I was like, wow, it actually stopped and started an attack. And that's what I think Erik ten Hag is looking at doing, is just how can we, that transition piece, right in the middle, let's stop it there. Let's start our attack while they're out of possession, which obviously today could have been easily 5-0 or 5-1, probably. I think besides that shot from Tete, there was nothing from Fulham. I mean, just Adama Traore going one piece behind, that's it. Nothing else, no other output. So I think Mazraoui was great. And the good thing is Erik ten Hag was able to make the sub. And because I could tell that he was feeling his hamstring a bit, he was kind of getting some cramps. So previously we had nobody; he had to play to the end, and then he's injured for 2 or 3 weeks. So having the options and making the change, I'm buzzing, and I was just hoping like we're playing again on Tuesday. But
we got to just chill. You know what I mean? We can enjoy the weekend now as well. Hopefully, we'll see some teams
and watch the ops. And watch the ops fail.
Exactly. They suddenly got very quiet, so it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Finally, based on that, I'll ask you a difficult question. What do you think Man United's target should be this season, based on what you're seeing now, how you're feeling, the positivity? What do you think our target should be?
I mean, I have to be realistic. I think fourth. Third might be harder. That means if maybe we sacrifice like Carabao Cup or FA Cup and then just focus and say we probably could get fourth, and then Europa again. We have to get that European competition. I mean, I just think we've not had that since 2017, and there's a good group to at least have that European silverware. So I think we can do fourth minimum, and then win the Europa. The other cups, if we win them, great. It'd be good to actually use some of the others as well to get some minutes. but I would rather we kind of focus on at least the league and the and Europa, because the surprise season, the first season, we went all out every single front and we
Yeah.
suffered. So
Yeah.
I'm okay if we won them before, so we want something else.
Exactly, want something else. Big up, Kay. Appreciate calling in. Showcase some love in the chat. It was a good call. I enjoyed that one. How many likes are we currently at the moment? We've got over 900 people watching. We're 40 away from 500. So if you haven't already, click the like button. Be sure to subscribe as well whilst you're at it. A reminder, there is going to be reaction coming from Flex from outside Old Trafford. Also, let me double check if 1KG the comedian, he said he would set up his stream. So once I'm finished here, you can be redirected to him. Did he? Good for him. He did do it. he did do it. Speaking of which, he's here. I'm also quite surprised because is he wearing glasses? The mask is not enough. The Manchester.
Yes. Good evening.
And apparently the Manchester's library.
Yes. I'm here on business. This is Manchester Legal Litigation Partners. Just speaking to Owen and Sons because we mean business. Owen.
Is that your new catchphrase? You've got a couple now. The time is now. We mean business.
It could be. I suppose yeah. We mean business. I don't know. See, time is now. We'll see. Yeah. But I felt that this team did well. When I say we mean business, it's just because we look so much different versus last season. We actually were playing football, not like a donut. There was options off the bench, and I kept on saying it in the first half. I said we need somebody who can finish their chances, and as soon as we had a striker there, it's nice to have that, right? Especially when Rasmus comes back, we should have a couple different options there. So I felt that it was good. It showed intent as far as Manchester United coming out of the gate there. Yes.
I'm still trying to figure out the joke. Is we mean business? That's why you're in a library with glasses and a jacket on.
So yesterday there was a court case on KG's channel, and
right.
I had to perhaps do a couple of Better Call Saul type of intervention, saying we need some disclaimers because it gets reckless over there. So
yes.
It was laying around, so I figured might as well just keep the character from yesterday. Yeah.
I thought when you said we mean business, I thought, right, he's doing like a transfer agent kind of thing. He's going to be like, okay, I'm here to negotiate for Ugarte, something like that.
It's Casual Friday. That's what it is.
All right, it's Casual Friday at Manchester and Sons LLC, legal partners or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah.
This guy, man. He's dressed up and there's no bit. There's no real joke or anything like that. There's just, and it was yesterday. It was the day before. It wasn't even, I thought he was going to be, because sometimes he winds up into a big bit and I go, all right, I get it now. Or it ends up in like a pun or something. He'll say one word and then I go, get out of here. You need to leave or whatever. It just decided to dress up with the library background. Just didn't really sort of brainstorm that bit to the level that it could get. Maybe it just decided to keep the character on top of the character, by the way, because it's already a character because he's the Manchester. And I went, why dressed up like that? He said Casual Friday. So he put a suit on and glasses, and he's already wearing a mask in a library. What kind of Casual Friday? You do it. Look at this thing. The bit doesn't make sense, Manchester. It needs more work. But whenever I see him pop up at the bottom of the screen, I go, "Oh God, what's he gonna do?" Oh, that's brilliant. Where are we at? We got to 500 likes, by the way, guys, which is fantastic. Really appreciate that. What's on tap for the remainder? Right, as I mentioned, fan views and player ratings will be coming very shortly. outside Old Trafford with Flex, talking to a plethora of Manchester United fans. What else? KG, that comedian, will be live on his channel very shortly, I think. Did he set it for 11 or did he set it for another time? What time did he set it for? 11 o'clock per Fleck. So you can go over to there, call into his channel, be part of the Reckless delegation, the Reckless community. What else have we got for you? Player ratings, as I mentioned, will be coming from Flex 2. And then tomorrow, what do we have tomorrow? There will be something tomorrow, by the way, as well. There'll be something tomorrow, probably more reactions to this game. We're going to do our best also to try and figure in a Trinity episode this week. Of course, couldn't do it today because of the match. So we're going to try and rearrange if we possibly can, schedule dependent, but we will do our very best. So there you go, guys. First match view of the season, tick. First full-time view of the season, tick. Some first-time callers today, which is excellent. If you're watching this after the fact and you go, that could be me, then all you have to do is become a member. You can do so. Links in the video description. It's also click the join button. Or if you're already a member and you go, that could be me, next time, if you're available, go over to the United View YouTube page, go over to the community tab. You can find the link there. You can call in, you can have your say, as you've seen in the show. All opinions are welcome. We'll agree on some, we'll disagree on some, but that's part of being a football fan, isn't it? Indeed, that's part of being a football fan. So big up to everyone for tuning in. Big up to everyone for tuning into the match view as well with KG and myself. A victory is in the books, and you can go over to KG and support him on his road to 100K. I'm out of here. Peace.